Everybody, I'm Sharon Meredith, certified health coach with Take Shape for Life and creator of Fitness with Heart. I am so excited to be here today with my friend Jessica Luibrand, and she's going to be talking to us about thermography. When I met with Jessica, I was really excited because of my own personal story. About 4 years ago, I had a lump that was found by my OBGYN, and I had had a mammography the year before. She sent me right to ultrasound, everything was cool. But it really started me thinking. And so I started asking friends, family, people who had lumps that were nothing, people that had breast cancer, and I asked them how they found their lump, and except for one instance, everybody had told me that it was me, my husband, my doctor. Mm-hmm. And the person that did have the lump was an 86-year-old, one of my favorite people in the world. And she had a mammography, and then they sent her for a second one, and then it was just a false reading or something. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking for alternatives, and I'm really excited, and I'm going to be doing this procedure. I think we put it on the calendar, didn't we?
We're going to.
Yes.
We're really excited about it.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, Jessica, tell us what you told me about thermography, please.
Okay. So basically, thermography is a test of physiology and function. So whereas a standard medical test like mammograms look at structure and anatomy and thus are limited by structure and anatomy, thermography can find the inflammation that leads to some sort of breast disease. So for example, when I first got into the thermography field, I found it completely by accident, or rather it found me, of course. And I got the pleasure of working with an acupuncturist in Michigan who had done her undergrad at a hospital wing in Chicago. And she said of every single person on the wing, there was no one that found their breast cancer via a mammogram. It was all themselves doing a self-breast exam, their doctor doing a manual breast exam, or like a loved one finding their breast cancer. So basically, mammography is actually limited by the exact thing that it's looking for, because it's looking at structure, and so it's limited by structure. So for example, like women with young breasts, dense breast tissue, microcalcifications, fibrocystic breasts, everything looks the same on a mammogram because it's looking at densities. So on a mammogram, it'll show up like there's like this like white area, and it'll say that it's a dense tissue area. But that also looks the same as if you have fibrocystic breasts or cystic breasts. So it's very tough to differentiate on a mammogram between a calcification and cancer.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
So tell me what the procedure is. I saw this machine, and quite honestly, it was just like this. Mm-hmm. You stand behind a camera, mm-hmm. and I just sit here, yep, naked, yep, and you just take the pictures.
Yes.
Yes.
So your thermography appointment, it's really fun and it's really simple. Thermography is just a night vision camera. It was actually developed in the 1960s by the American military to find and kill the enemy. And they realized when they pointed it at someone, they were able to see these areas of increased inflammation relative to that person. So basically what they did is they declassified it in the 60s and allowed it for medical use. Since then, it's been highly specialized and highly sensitive, and it's been in the medical community around since the 70s. Obviously now it's way more developed than it was prior to this. And so what it does is it's just a camera. So nothing is emitted at you, to you, or through you. There's absolutely no radiation. There's no compression. There's no pain. And it's just a picture that takes a picture of what you are emitting towards the camera, because we are infrared beings. So we give off energy in the form of heat. So my night vision camera, my heat vision camera, is just searching to see and seeking where that heat is being emitted off the body towards the camera. So it's completely non-harmful. There's no side effects. There's no contraindications whatsoever. Women who are pregnant can get thermograms. It's completely safe because there's no radiation, so there's nothing emitted to and at and through the body.
Very cool. Another thing that you told me, and I thought this was cool. Tell us about the reading. So I've had my procedure, mm-hmm. so to speak, my mm-hmm. camera, my filming. And now it goes to who and what do we do? How do you, let's say there's inflammation.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So after we do your appointment, so you'll just be sitting in front of the camera, and then we'll take all the different images of whatever we're imaging, whether it's face or neck or breast, because the other thing is thermography can actually scan the entire body. It's not just limited to breast, but it is very well known for its capacity to image breast diseases. And so after we do the scan, what happens then is it's uploaded to a board of medical doctors. They're all MDs, so medical doctors, and they're all board certified in thermology, but they're all holistically minded. So they're not going to come back with like you need to take some sort of pharmaceutical drug. They're going to come back with nutritional lifestyle changes, something like that, because they're finding everything so early, because inflammation, again, it's the body's early warning system that there's a problem. So we're seeing these problems like at their infancy stages. So you have all of this time to do anything. So you can do lymphatic drainage techniques, you can exercise more, you can eat better, you can do so many different things. Because we're finding it at its beginning stages, you have all of this time to change the course of your health.
Very cool. I think you said, and correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't it something like 7 years before a mammography?
Yes. So thermography can actually find breast disease 8 to 10 years before a mammogram, because a mammogram, if you think about it, it's looking for a tumor. Well, a tumor is the end stage of disease. Like the medical community seems to make people think that you just wake up with cancer one day. Well, you don't wake up with cancer. It grows, and it grows the same way we did, as a one-cell organism that differentiates and splits. And so what we're finding is thermography, because it's a test of physiology and function, it's looking at blood flow. So it's looking at this inflammatory response in this blood flow. So it's looking at everything at its infancy stage. So again, you have all of this time to do something else. So yeah, a mammogram looks at a tumor, but then why are you searching for a tumor? Why aren't you searching for the what's going to lead up to the tumor? Because a tumor is a clump of cells. Well, I would rather know if I have a problem, I would rather see it when it's like 1 or 2 cells rather than when it's 8 billion, which is the size of a pinhead, when a mammogram can finally find it. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing, as you can tell. And one of the things that we're going to do, I just thought this information was so important to share with people, because sometimes we don't know what we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And this is such a nice alternative, and I'm in, because of your friend and from my own personal mini research about asking people. The next step that we're going to do, because Jessica and I talked about this, so there's a lot of things when it comes to holistic health, and she actually has a deodorant recipe. You forgot. You didn't know I was going to bring this up, did you? But we're going to do another one of these, and we're going to be making deodorant that's healthy, because many of the things, the skin is the largest organ of our body, and some of the things we're putting on us can lead to inflammation, which leads to cancer and all kinds of things. Exactly. So do you have any parting words of advice for anybody?
So basically, just thermography is that first glance. So, it's better to be proactive about your health, and it's better to know than not know. So getting a thermogram and just adding that into your annual physical, like anything else, like when you go to a doctor, the first thing that they do is they check your temperature, because they want to see if you're within normal range. Well, thermography and taking a temperature, they are different, but it's the same idea. We want to make sure you're within normal range. And if you're not, there's a problem, and then we can find out why. So just thinking about adding that into your annual physical is just a wonderful idea.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I'm so excited that you're here, and thank you for listening. Hope you got something out of it. Feel free to comment. We want to hear what your thoughts are. Have a great day.
Thank you.